Okay, we are live again for my second show of the night on the Power Chat series. Two veteran martial artists, so I am excited to bring on Drew Derek Bisbee. Drew, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. So, for this post show, we are highlighting the International Martial Arts Festival, IMAF. So, Drew, why don't you tell us how you did, how the tournament ran, and how it went?
Well, the International Martial Arts Festival is a tournament that's been going on for a while. It's in Orlando. Has in the past been at the World Disney Wide World of Sports and on ESPN. And I guess they're doing some work at Disney and also with the pandemic, so that it's not at Disney right now. I know that David Sklar, who runs the tournament, wants to get it back to Disney, but nonetheless, it was great. It was at a great venue in Orlando. Um, I competed. I competed at the Mayan Challenge about a month ago in Daytona and qualified for the elite divisions at the IMAF. So I competed in those on Friday and won the executive, or the I think it's like 40 and over weapons division, and then the same for the forms. And then on Saturday, I went ahead and competed in the USA Nationals, the USA Sport Karate National Tournament, and I won the executive division in the same sort of way. Um, and so I went on to compete in the nighttime show for the overall um, adult forms grand champion and the adult weapons grand champion, and won both of those, which is the same that I won back in 2016 when I competed in the tournament as well.
So, you came back and you conquered again.
Yeah, I had a good repeat. It was a good time.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You're a You live in Florida, right?
Yeah, I live in Northeast Florida in Jacksonville.
Okay. And so you're familiar with the USA Sport Karate circuit and all the Florida tournaments in general. In comparison, how did this one run?
Well, it's part of the USA Sport Karate circuit, so it they do a really good job with their referees. They're well trained. You go to some tournaments and they're just grabbing people to referee. This is not the case. In fact, I didn't even referee because I'm not certified in that circuit, and I referee at NASCAR tournaments all the time. Um, and so you got to respect that. You've got to go through their qualification process, and I hadn't done it, so I didn't get to referee, which is which is kind of odd for me because I'm used to going to tournaments and having to referee and compete. So it was nice to kind of not have to be running around like that. Jeremy Roque and David Sklar run that circuit, and really they have it well organized and do a good job at it.
So for this one, since you weren't judging, what did you do in the free time that you weren't competing yourself?
Well, I actually got to sit around and watch a lot of other competitors who I hadn't seen before. A lot of people who compete on that circuit. I've done a lot of NASCAR tournaments, and it's a different sort of regional tournaments are a little bit different than the national tournaments as far as there's a lot of talent out there you don't see because they just don't travel to the national tournaments. And there's some really talented people in Florida, always have been. Some great competitors have come out of Florida in the past, and there's some new ones that should be competing nationally, and for a variety of reasons, maybe either they don't feel like they're ready to do that, or don't have the money to do it, or the time. But just some fantastic competitors in Central and South and Northeast and North Florida. Um, so it was a pleasure going to the tournament. I really enjoyed it, and got to compete against some people I don't normally compete against, which is always nice to get a little bit of change of venue. Um, the One of the competitors I competed with is a young up and comer. I think he's 18. His name is Sam Gonzalez, and he's going to be really good. I mean, he's already pretty good, but he keeps working at it. He's going to be right up there with some of the best ones out there.
And you mentioned Sam. I'm sure you could see the comment, but he commented, gave you a little wave, Sam Gonzalez actually, which means he's watching. And so, how does that feel? I'm sure it's a feeling that you've felt for a while, though, as a martial artist in the game for so long. But to see the new talent come up, and also for them to look up to you while competing against you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably in the twilight of my competition career. I'm 54, and of course Sam is 18, and I'm three times his age. So he's young and full of vigor and really intense, and I'm not as strong or as I just don't feel as strong as I used to be. I mean, I can still hold my own, obviously, um, but he's got a lot in front of him. I've probably got more behind me as far as competition. Um, so seeing some of these young up and comers is really cool, and to watch them get better and better as time goes on.
Now it's an impressive backdrop you have. It's not a Zoom background or a fake green screen thing. It's real life. I mean, at what point, at what trophies do you keep, or which ones do you let go?
Well, years and years ago, I was doing a lot of regional tournaments and local tournaments. I hadn't really gotten back into the national scene again, and I probably threw away about 400 trophies, and then another, I don't know, 8 or 10 years ago, I threw another 300 or 400 away, and really just kept. I mean, you know how it is. You went to a lot of national tournaments, and you can't carry them all home with you. So you just take one or two, or take a grand champion trophy home with you. And that's really what I ended up doing, especially when I was competing pretty heavily on the NASCA circuit. I would just take home grand champion trophies, or if something was really cool, or like I've got back here is a U.S. Open trophy from 2009, and that was the first time that I actually won at the U.S. Open, and I had bested Kevin Thompson that day. So that trophy has, that one has some special meaning to me. That was the first time I beat Kevin Thompson, who's a legend in the sport. The one right behind my head here is a Warrior Cup, and I think I was the oldest competitor to win a Warrior Cup. Might still be. I was in my 40s
So
when
we
I
were
won that.
we were just talking about that Warrior Cup. Not okay. No. So Joey just said that in our previous interview, he was maybe the oldest competitor to win a diamond ring, but he didn't say Warrior Cup. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
he's
gonna say we have two people saying the same thing, but two separate tournaments.
no. I hadn't won a diamond ring actually in 2010 when I had won everything just about. I might have been undefeated in the division, and I might have been undefeated in grands for forms. And I was so far ahead in points that I didn't go to diamonds. And that was the first year they had a 30 and over diamond ring. I didn't realize they were giving it. And to his credit, Eric Tremblay won that year, and he won probably three or four more over the years. And so the next year I went, Mike, oh god, I'm having a blank. Mike with Team Infinity. Mike
Oh well.
Welch, yes. Mike Welch won. I lost to him by a hundredth of a point, I think, in the Grands runoffs, and he won the Diamond Ring that year. And then in 2012, 2013, I competed down against the 18-year-olds. 2014, we had a hurricane come through, so my flight got canceled. I didn't get to go. 2015, I went, and I think I lost to Eric Tremblay, and we tied on stage for the diamond ring, and he won the tiebreaker. He had more nines than I did, and then I think I went back again. Or no, I think in 2017 I was going to go again. We had another hurricane, so my flight got canceled. So diamonds has been kind of a thorn in my side. That's one of the big ones I didn't win, but I've won lots of others, so I don't feel too slighted at all.
Mhm.
I do want to give a shout out to my Team NMAC, which our coaches and our owner is Mike Politi. and he's been very supportive of me over the last couple of years since I've been on the team. And I represent INMAC.
Great. And the last time you said you went to the IMAF was 2016. What was the gap in time?
Well, that's 6 years ago. I mean,
Or
uh,
then, oh no, 6 years ago. Sorry,
yeah,
6 years
yeah.
ago.
Um, and I actually had other guys who I was on teams with who had gone to it, and they really spoke highly of it. I was like, I'd really like to go and get on ESPN and do all that, and it was a good experience. And you know, I kind of after that kind of semi-retired for a couple of years, and
Mhm.
then of course, when I decided to start competing again, the pandemic started.
Pandemic
So
hits.
yeah, so that's thrown a monkey in the wrench for everybody, I think.
All right. And now, if you, again, I know you have to qualify for IMAF, but assuming you do so, is this a tournament you would return to?
Uh, Possibly. Like I said, I'm probably in the kind of winding down of my career, so we'll just have to see. We'll have to see what happens.
It seems as though you've had a few or a couple winding downs, and then you maybe get the itch again and decide to come back. So it's a TBD.
Yep, yeah, yeah. I don't want to say I'm retiring.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when I stopped competing in 2016 or 2017, I said, I'm just not excited about competing right now. So I think I'm gonna take some time off. I never said I was retiring. I don't think. I might have, but I don't look at it that way. I mean, if I get to the point where I feel like I need to compete again, I'll jump back out there again. But I have found out when you take time off, it does a couple of things. You know, you're not out there, so people don't know who you are, so you don't carry any goodwill. I mean, I guess I carry some goodwill because some people know who I am, but there's a lot of people, especially over the last year and a half or so since I've been competing some more, who are don't know who I am, and that's okay. I don't claim to be anybody special, but when you take time off and you're not in front of them, you're just not getting the exposure, and so you may not get like the benefit of the doubt. You also, when you take time off, you get out of that world, and maybe you don't push as hard or push as well, or maybe you get out of tune with what is in style and what the judges are now looking for. So, you know, for a while I was a top competitor in from 2008 till about 2015, and I'm not I've been to 4 or 5 tournaments this year. Haven't won any grands on NASCA. Been close, but of course I'm competing against guys like Eric Tremblay and Kevin Kowalczyk and Edgar Cordova and Joey Castro, of course, who's just dominating everybody. And more power to him. He is amazing. You look at guys like Sam Diaz now, who's on Paul Mitchell and doing really well. So I give all the credit in the world to those guys. Um, I just keep pushing when I'm out there against them, and hopefully I you know represent well for myself and for my team.
Yeah. I mean, the executive division or the senior division is really bringing the heat at practically every tournament, and it's not just one or two guys, it's like six, it's the competition is really there, and that's always nice to see, of course. But
Yeah, at the U.S. Open this year, and no slight to the guys in the 18 plus divisions, but I'd say the 30 plus men's forms and weapons divisions were probably more hotly contested than the 18 plus were. Um, it was pretty neat to be a part of that and see guys really pushing hard and really bringing the heat in that grands.
and it's really now it's no excuses for the younger divisions to, you know, not bring it and to make excuses. So you guys are still pushing, still inspiring the next generation, even as new faces may come in. So
Yep.
okay. All right. Well, Drew, thank you so much for coming onto the Power Chat series and talking about IMAF, but also just
Well,
you as a martial artist.
I did want to talk about one other thing. Right now, I'm the head coach of the U.S. martial arts team, and we're going to be hosting. The U.S. martial arts team is going to be hosting the World Games next July, at the end of July in Daytona Beach. And right now, we're in the process of setting up coaches all around the U.S. to try out athletes to compete in the World Games. The World Games is held every 2 years. And obviously in 2021, we didn't have one, but in 2019, it was in London, England. And to compete at the World Games, you have to be a member of a country team. So if you want to compete for the United States, you have to be a member of the recognized team for the United States to compete at the World Games. Same with any other country. I know we're going to have athletes from Puerto Rico, Mexico, Venezuela, Argentina, Canada, England, Germany, Italy, Iran. I know I'm missing several right now, but be on the lookout or check my page or DM me if you want more information on that. We should be releasing more information on that. We are having a tryout by two of our coaches in Central Florida, in the Orlando area on December 3rd. And there's other tryouts that are going to be scheduled. And I know that Alex and I are going to talk about that in the future on a show of his as well.
Okay, great. And you'll be able to spread more information about it. So that's wonderful. Now, is there an official World Games Facebook page for people to also go to?
No, actually, we're be on the lookout for that too, because that should be coming up soon by our from our board of directors, who's handling a lot of that stuff. I'm the head coach of the team, but I don't run everything.
Yeah, social media is its own world.
Yeah.
There's little jobs for it, so
totally yeah. But be on the lookout for that. We will have more information about it. You know, like I said, you can't just go and register and compete at the tournament. You have to go through the tryout process to become a member of the team. It's different than, say, like WKC or WKU, in that you don't have to be a black belt. You can be an underbelt to compete, and you would be competing against other underbelts. There is a variety of divisions, and another thing that's cool is we have separate divisions for Korean, Chinese, Japanese, musical open, all that for underbelts as well. So you're not going to have Japanese competitors competing against Korean and Chinese competitors, even in the kids or the underbelts. There's breaking, and there's grappling, there's self-defense divisions, there's special needs divisions. That's another thing that we're highlighting. So there's just a variety, and it's part of the our organization is recognized by TIFISA, which is International Sport for All. So there's a lot of different things that you can do and that are represented in the World Games. And so just be on the lookout for more information on that, what different divisions there are, and how you can get involved.
All right. Thank you so much. And again, everyone watching, thank you for watching the Power Chat series tonight, my two shows with two great martial artists, two veterans of the sport. Okay.
Thank you so much.